Welcome back, IDC family. We are so glad that you have chosen to join us again for our Get to Know the Elders series. As a reminder, I am Ben Elaine, one of the pastoral assistants here at Imago Dei Church, and today I'm joined by Seth Wise, who is one of our lay elders here at the church. And Seth has been an elder for how long?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. And today we're going to get a chance to get to know a little bit about Seth. So you guys probably know a little bit of the formula by now, some of the questions that we have, and then the grab bag at the end, which is slowly becoming my favorite part. Not that the other ones are insignificant. They're very meaningful questions, but always fun to dive into those. So yeah, Seth, I would love for just to kind of give you the floor, and just to start out, we just want to hear a little bit of kind of a brief version of your own story of how you came to know, believe in, and follow Jesus Christ.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ben. So I was raised in a Christian home. Both my parents are believers. Obviously, the Lord's been very gracious to me in that, and still have a great relationship with my parents. The Lord saved me when I was 8 years old. I fully and firmly believe that I was saved when I was 8 years old, just through the ministry of regular discipleship from my parents and the things that they taught me, my brother, my sister as well. But then as I grew up, my brother was in a car accident. He's 5 years older than me. And he was in a car accident when I was 12 years old. I was in 6th grade. And in that season, I got to see the grace of the Lord, obviously, but then the grace of the Lord through his people in that time. So my brother was in the hospital for about a month, and I just saw the body of Christ being the body of Christ. And I said, when I grow up and get older, I just want to be a follower of Jesus that looks like this. So the Lord graciously used brothers and sisters at that point that were walking alongside my family. A lot of my family's really good friends and things like that it just showed Christ to me in that way and really set an example for me. And then when I was graduating high school, my senior year of high school, my church that I grew up in and had been a part of for a long time was getting a new youth pastor, and that guy became my mentor. He spent a lot of time with me, one-on-one discipleship kinds of things. And so in that season, he really helped me to learn and understand what it meant to be a follower of Christ throughout college and things like that. And the Lord was super gracious. So I think that those markers were really significant for me early on in my Christian walk, and really being able to see the church be the church for my family, showing Christ to us, the things that we talk about here often at Imago Dei, bearing one another's burdens. We obviously had a huge burden in that season with my family, and the Lord was just gracious to provide for us through that, and really desiring to live my life to that end for the rest of my life, and seeing how those things worked out, and then kind of solidifying a lot of those things at that formative time as a senior in high school, with this brother who came into my life and really mentored me. So yeah.
Amen. Yeah, that's an encouraging story. Yeah, so the Lord saved you, brought you through, kind of had that mentor who served with you, and then somewhere along the way in your journey to IDC and to being a pastor here, a family kind of came about. And so tell us a little bit about Emily and how you guys met, maybe even how you proposed, some of those aspects of your story. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually met in a growth group at IDC. So we moved here the same week in 2011. So right as IDC was getting started, we both moved here, which is a super cool part of our story. We're living in Flaherty Apartments, both going to Southeastern, and ended up in the same growth group. A little bit of time after that, I was working a job that early on in those days, there was only 2 growth group options, and neither one of them worked with my work schedule. And so it took me a little bit to get plugged in to a growth group. But once I did, she was in that growth group. We didn't start dating immediately. It definitely was not love at first sight or any kind of thing like that.
Sure.
We were really, really good friends. The Lord was gracious to us in that. We spent a lot of time together. Our group actually multiplied. I went as an assistant leader into a different group that she was no longer in, and we just found ourselves really just enjoying each other's company. The companionship that we had, the friendship that we had in the gospel was super cool. So we got married after a year of dating, so we got married in August of 2015,
Okay.
and we have a little girl named Margot who just turned 2 about a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago today. So yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. There's a lesson in there for being a faithful member of your growth group, and who knows how the Lord might utilize that
Yeah, no
time
doubt.
that you have with one
No
another.
doubt.
So that's great. So yeah, been a pastor here. You said 2.5 years, and so would love to hear just what it is that you love the most about being here at Imago Dei Church, about the church itself.
Yeah, I think just the intentionality with which our members try to live out the implications of the gospel. I think that's so key to the DNA and kind of the ethos of our church, is that we don't have this idea that we are here to come and consume something, but we have people who love the gospel. They want to see the gospel go to the nations. They want to see the gospel go to their families. They want to see the gospel go to their neighbors. And so just being able to see all of those aspects at play within individual members of the growth groups and things like that, and then our church as a whole is just super encouraging to me, that we have so many people that just desire to take the gospel wherever they're going. We have a lot of people that obviously come here with a mindset of wanting to go overseas and take the gospel to the nations, but that doesn't mean that they're putting that on hold while they're a member of IDC, that they're doing that here and while they're here. And so that's one of the things that I love most about our church, I think.
Yeah, that's great. In your experience over the last 2.5 years serving as a pastor, what has kind of become that aspect of pastoral ministry that you find yourself maybe the most passionate about or the most drawn to in your service?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with my kind of story as a church member here at IDC, right? So being a part of this church for 4 or 5 years, and really just being a church member, not even a growth group leader in that season, and then becoming a growth group leader and eventually becoming an elder. Being able to walk through the membership process, I think, is probably the biggest thing. I get the privilege of teaching in the membership class on every other month basis, and then also doing the interviews that we get to do with people as a part of the membership process as well is just super encouraging. I think even my story going back of seeing the Lord's grace at different points in our lives and being able to listen to people share those stories of grace and then how that is affecting them and what it is doing in their life and seeing kind of the trajectory of their lives is something that I enjoy about just kind of the process of what it means to be an elder. That doesn't mean that I don't love the people that have been here for a long time, right? But it's just really exciting for me to be able to walk with people kind of through that process and then see them flourish as a member of IDC.
Yeah, welcoming them into the meaningful membership that you yourself even experienced.
Yeah,
in your own
absolutely.
journey. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, excellent. Yeah, we move now into the lightning round.
All right.
So. In the lightning round, a couple questions. You guys may be familiar with this process by now. Nothing too crazy serious, but we're just digging deeper under the surface of who Seth Wise is. So the first question I have for you is, you have a vacation. Are we going to the beach or are we going to the mountains?
Probably mountains.
Okay.
I love the beach too, but probably mountains is more my speed. Just relaxing, enjoying some colder air, good cup of coffee, that sort of thing.
They're just better. I'm right there with you. Movie popcorn or a baseball game hot dog?
Baseball game hot dog, no doubt.
Okay.
So a little bit of interesting fact. I'll go a little bit further than
Please
just
do.
the lightning round here.
Please do.
Emily and I have been to exactly one movie in the theaters together, and my roommate at the time, we weren't married yet, was actually with us. And so, it's just not something that we do. So I don't go to the movies all that often. So baseball game hot dog.
Yeah.
Sure.
What was the movie?
Star Wars, one of the, I can't remember exactly which one.
Okay, like one of the newest.
Yeah, one of the newer versions, Star Wars' movies, but yeah.
Yeah, very memorable as you can.
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
which
yeah.
one it was.
Yeah, don't remember
Excellent.
exactly which one.
So the next question is favorite movie. So maybe you personally watch
Yeah.
movies. So what would it be for you?
Yeah. So again, and you're going to start noticing a theme here, Ben. Movie 42, the baseball movie about Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
The story of Jackie Robinson
Uh-huh.
is definitely up there. A little bit lesser known movie, 61, so numbers and that sort of thing in baseball. That really, that's a lot about me, is numbers in baseball, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, those two. 61's a movie about the home run chase back when the single season home run mark was broken.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So favorite food.
Favorite food, definitely favorite style of food would be Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
Love any kind of Mexican food.
Yeah.
Sure.
Emily cooks it well, I assume.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good answer. A random skill that you may have that we do not know about.
So I love, in my free time that I do get, I love woodworking and making furniture. So I've made 2 dining room tables that we've used in our house, and so I love doing that.
Yeah. Have you sold these yet?
So I sold the first one to replace it with the second one.
Okay.
We just wanted a little bit different style in our home, and so sold one and made a little bit of a profit on it after we had used it for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, but not like this isn't a
No,
opportunity.
yeah,
Okay.
not like a business that we have going or anything like that.
I already tried to get Matt to get into the smoked meats business.
Yeah.
I was just if you're interested in that.
Hey, maybe.
Yeah.
It just takes a lot of time.
It does take a lot. Yeah.
I'm not that good.
Yeah, you're not. That's fair. You're very humble about it. I'm just trying to build my portfolio.
Yeah, that's right.
Side projects where I'm in, working the business side of things.
Yeah.
Excellent. Dream job, if it's not what you currently do, which is totally fine.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that it's what I currently do,
Sure.
but related. So if I'm going for something that is probably not attainable at this point in my life, would be like a front office executive for a Major League Baseball team.
Yeah.
So doing the numbers piece of that. So I work in accounting currently, and so doing the numbers piece of that would be really cool.
Yeah. Are you a big Sabermetrics guy when it comes to baseball stuff?
Yeah, I've found myself getting more and more into it, as I've learned more about it, but not like to the point where I'm like, everything has to be done. Like the Rays taking Blake Snell out in the World Series was a terrible move.
Yeah.
The dude, you got to use your eyeballs at some point, right?
Yeah.
But
That's good. Sorry for bringing up Sabermetrics, guys. I'll include how you spell that in the description. You can go do some Google searches. We got a little in the weeds there on baseball. College major.
Business administration.
Business administration.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very relevant to your work now.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it has served me well in my current role.
Yeah, that's great. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird for sure.
Okay.
Which was for Emily and I was an adjustment. She's definitely a night owl and we tried to kind of meet in the middle a little bit of that. But if it was up to me, we would be asleep by 10 o'clock every night.
Up and ready to go at 4, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that early.
It's a little extreme. Okay.
Yeah.
And continuing on our baseball theme, we got to talk with Daniel about this. He's a Georgia native, as you are.
Yeah.
And so, your favorite all-time Atlanta Braves baseball player?
Yeah, so I thought long and hard about this question, Ben, as you sent me these beforehand. I thought about this one, and growing up in the mid '90s to the mid 2000s, really was the time that I really remember going to Atlanta Braves games. The answer is going to be Chipper Jones, right?
Okay.
He's the Hall of Famer, won an MVP, but just the very fact that you could go see 3 other Hall of Famers pitching on a nightly basis. If you had a 3 out of 5 chance of going and seeing a Hall of Famer on the mound too. So of those 3, I'll narrow it down. Just in case I'm the same as Daniel on this one, I'll narrow it down. I'll say John Smoltz of those 3 pitchers. But it's hard to pick a pitcher as your favorite player because they don't play every day.
That's true. Yeah.
So we'll go Chipper Jones by default. But if I had to hedge a little bit, I'd say John Smoltz.
It's a 1A.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah,
for sure.
That's good. Well, excellent, man. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to hear some of your story and some fun facts about you. And so that is Seth Wise for you guys, one of our lay elders here at the church. And we thank you so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.